Welcome to the Beach Lifestyle Show / Total Education Network simulcast, powered by the Beach Lifestyle Celebrity segment. I first want to welcome my co-host, GJ Reynolds. GJ, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, Neil. Fantastic.
All right, and I'm excited because always the celebrities, but this is amazing, especially because this is going to air in Pittsburgh, and I think that there are many, many Steeler fans that it'll be interesting to hear a lot about this guest, but yet they're going to say, what's he doing on here? Because he's doing great things, and he's a champion, so GJ, go ahead and introduce him.
Well, first guest is a champion on the field, and he's a champion off the field, and he's going to be here talking about his foundation. And he's a wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens, the Super Bowl champions. He's a Super Bowl champion. All of a sudden, within 2 weeks, we have a Super Bowl champion on our show. So please welcome to the show, LaQuan Williams. How you doing, LaQuan?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing great, and I'm sure you're just absolutely just so excited. It must be so real to be a Super Bowl champ, right? It seems like, you can't believe it's already been 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, it was a lifelong dream, man. It's an unbelievable feeling.
Unbelievable feeling, and something that, again, it'll take you so much time to get back into the swing of things and specifics and say things. But what we have you on the show today to talk about is specifically your foundation and how you're doing such great work in the Baltimore area. And being on a business / education show, I think, LaQuan, the first question I want to ask you is specifically, why did you start the foundation?
The biggest thing is I am from Baltimore, and being as I'm from Baltimore, I can have influence on the community. I just wanted to help and give back, man. There's not a lot of guys that make it out of Baltimore and have a chance to come back and be a positive influence in the community. So my biggest thing was coming back, being a positive influence, and just helping out kids, helping out anybody that I pretty much can.
And that's great because, again, you made it to the NFL, especially what a dream to be from Baltimore and play for the Baltimore Ravens, LaQuan. And that, GJ, that's something I think that every child grows up with, G, and says, you know what, if when their favorite sports team, they want to play for that hometown team, right, G?
Yeah, so I wanted to play for the New Orleans Saints, because I grew up in Louisiana, and I knew I had a good shot because they weren't very good then. Of course, that's changed, and it's every kid's dream to play for their favorite team and to grow up in that city and then bring home the championship. I mean, wow! I mean, what better script? I mean, Hollywood couldn't write a better script. So you're living the dream, and obviously you're helping you're helping kids with their dreams. And once you just share a little bit about some of the activities and programs that your foundation has and provides for our audience.
Okay, well, we just been off the ground last year. We did a big charity basketball game to pretty much get off the ground. We did a lot of back-to-school stuff for this former school year. Coming up this year, we're going to do football camps, mentoring program, tutoring program. We also do a lot with lupus. My mom has lupus, so we want to do a lot of lupus awareness. So we do lupus walks. We raise money for trying to find a cure and just kind of inform people about the danger of it.
Well, that's tremendous, and it's great that your foundation spreads out to help many people, not just one group of people, so that your ultimate focus is bringing back as helping the Baltimore community. Can you tell me a little bit about the after-school program that you're looking to start this year?
Well, it's pretty much I'm going to go to every public school. I have an after-school program where it helps the kids focus and just kind of transfer from more of just schoolwork, but how to transfer that school into everyday life. So more so, I feel like a lot in school is robots, so they teach us how to be robots. I went to a mentoring program and an after-school program to help the kids use their everyday skills from school and use it in their everyday life.
What I like about that, LaQuan, is you're talking about robots, kids. The schools are robotic as well with the teachers, so they need time to really be kids and then giving them that time, and especially when maybe where they live is not a safe environment. And one thing that LaQuan, that we do here on the Total Education Network / Beach Lifestyle is that GJ Reynolds, my co-host, has a foundation, Simply G, and I know that he would like to help out in certain ways for the foundation. GJ's been helping a lot of different charities, right, G?
Yes, and any charity that we can help, that one we believe in and is doing good, and obviously, kids are they're our future. So, we got to do a better job of helping educate and train and mentor our kids, and so anything we can do to help out. So we can definitely talk offline on how we can get involved and help each other's foundations. So I look forward to that. So where can our audience find more information about your foundation, and what can they do to get involved?
Well, you can just go onto our website. We have a contact list. You could sign up for the contact list, and we'll send out information and respond to any inquiries you have. It's the LaQuan Williams Foundation.org. Once again, it's the LaQuan Williams Foundation.org.
And I think by winning the Super Bowl, this has really helped provide a national platform for your foundation, hasn't it, LaQuan?
Definitely. I'll have a more range of voice. I think I'll be able to reach a bigger demographic of people, and that definitely will help. Because, like I said, I just want to help out as much as I can.
And that's key. And would you say once you first started your foundation that there were a lot of challenges involved, because especially you're a professional athlete, needs to continue to train and things like that, and see how much time is involved in it?
Oh, definitely, man. This is not an easy job. But I have a team of people that helps me out with it, keeps it on the ground and keep it up running. So it's a very tedious job, but it's well worth it.
And what you've learned, LaQuan, from that situation is specifically using your team setting, like in sports, the same way in business. And GJ, and again, G knows all about foundations and business. As an entrepreneur, GJ, you see a lot of times that you have to surround yourself with the right people, and it seems like LaQuan has.
Well, obviously surrounding himself with the right team, because they brought home the championship. I see Ray Rice and some of the other teammates have gotten involved as well to help you with your cause, and Torrey Smith, and obviously you surround yourself with the right people, and the people that want to help you elevate yourself and elevate the programs such as the foundation is definitely key in moving forward and being successful. So that's also a great lesson for our kids. Surround yourself with the right kids, because you become who you hang out with.
Right.
So obviously, with all the excitement going on in Baltimore and so forth, do you have any events coming up that going to be involved with your foundation?
Well, we're kind of in the pause stage right now. We're making sure we get everything taken care of for the spring camps that's coming up for football for the youth. We're kind of setting them up. We're working with Downtown Locker Room, and we're setting up all the dates for the couple of camps that we're going to do. So that's the next thing that we have going on.
So as you see, after the season's over, just jump right into another part of your life. But I think you probably like that also during the off season, to be not always focused on football, LaQuan, to really look at, because you could say, hey, I can't wait to get back on the football field for spring, and for training camp and everything. But ultimately, you have this other opportunity, LaQuan, to put your hands into this more on a longer basis during this off season, right? To kind of really create the plans, different things like that. So your brain team, you guys get together and discuss specific ideas and things like that, where to take the foundation forward. Is that what you've been gathering and looking at after the season has ended?
Yeah, the great over there. Hello?
Oh, are you there, LaQuan? Hello?
I said that again.
No, that's no problem, LaQuan. No, what I was asking is basically, have you been able to really work hand in hand with the foundation right after the season's over? Because now things are slowing down a little bit.
Okay, yeah.
And
definitely.
And look,
go ahead.
go ahead. No problem.
I'm able to work much more, focus more on what's going on with the foundation than what happened with the season. Of course, on the season, I have practice, we have meetings, I got to focus on video, watch that type of stuff. And I let my team do more of the leg work and figure out what's going on with the foundation. Now that the off season here, I can be more hands-on, I can give more opinions, I can have more of a effect on where exactly the direction of the foundation is going. I mean, that's a great thing because, like I said, I want to help. So, it's just not, okay, it's a LaQuan Williams Foundation, but somebody else is running it. But obviously, I can really, put my biggest hand forth.
And what GJ and I have seen is when a celebrity is able to put their stamp on a foundation, there's going to be more success. If you are able to be seen by others, it's not like, okay, LaQuan never shows up to the events and all those things, and it doesn't become authentic. And GJ, from the athletes we've interviewed and celebrities we've interviewed with foundations, being authentic is so key in success, right, G?
Well, it's back to the simple saying, keeping it real and being real. And, we've been blessed to have a lot of great celebrities and athletes on our show. And they're all walking the walk and talking the talk, or talking the talk and walking the walk. And obviously, LaQuan, you're doing that both on the field and off the field. And, I was checking out your website, earlier today, and I know you've got like a 3-step game plan, and I was just thinking, you have a game plan when you're on the field, you have a game plan off the field. Can you tell us a little bit about the 3-step game plan?
Pretty much the 3-step game plan is really just a guidance. You feel like in anything you do, you have to have some type of structure to it. You have to have a plan, and you got to have a way to accomplish something. So without a 3-step plan, we're just trying to pretty much teach kids or teach any individual that you have to have steps to prepare for your next move. And that's pretty much the basis of the 3-step program.
And you take that same attitude on the football field, don't you?
Every day, every aspect of life, football field, life in general, my daily plan, anything is always structured. It's always a plan or a message to my madness, I would say, a better way to put it.
Well, you have to have, you definitely have to have that message to your madness, LaQuan, to have success in everything and to look at things and have a purpose. And G and I talk about purpose all the time, LaQuan. And GJ and I, what we do all the time on this show, and G, you could tell them a little bit about what we do, what we ask every one of the athletes or celebrities or guests who come on the show, G.
Well, we asked the magic question of, what's your 90-day challenge? What's your 90-day goal for yourself and for your foundation?
For myself, in 90 days, I plan on being in the best shape I've ever been in my life. I started working out today, actually, so it's back to work for me. As far as the foundation, I want to be able to have affected at least 30 kids with my football camps and being able to talk to them and just change. If there's even one thing that day to help them out to stay out of trouble, to show them, okay, school is cool, go to school, pay attention to class, or focus on sports. Don't be out getting influenced by the bad, wrong people, which, like I said, the Baltimore area, sometimes these kids don't have the right guidance. So just maybe to guide the kid in the right direction within the next 90 days with the football camps would be my biggest goal.
And that's fantastic. And again, I think you're definitely setting the goals. So what we also ask is where people could follow you. First of all, we need your website so that my listeners can get involved to donate to the foundation or volunteer. And then secondly, information on where we can find more information on you, LaQuan.
Okay, well, the foundation is the LaQuan Williams Foundation.org. You can find me on Twitter at _am_Quan. You also can find the foundation on Twitter as well, which is the LaQuan Williams Foundation 15.
All right, LaQuan, good luck to you. Have a good off season, and maybe we'll have to connect when you come into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. So we'll stay in touch, and I'll tweet you out when you're in Pittsburgh. We'll see if we can connect. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thanks for having me.
All right, take care, LaQuan. See you later.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hello.
Okay, bye. You're listening to the Beach Lifestyle Show with host GJ Rounds, myself, Neil Haley, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Thousands Millions of people a day are joining this hottest 90-day weight loss and fitness challenge in North America. The Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge from Visalis.
The shake is delicious.
The shake mix that tastes like a cake mix.
Folks are dropping weight. Folks are muscling up.
I lost 57 pounds.
30.5 pounds.
I went from a size 10 to a size 6.
I lost 66 pounds on my 90-day challenge.
Everybody's doing it. Even athletes, celebrities, sports and fitness professionals, such as Hulk Hogan.
If you want to get in shape, lose weight, and stay fit, now is the time. Are my Hulkamaniacs up for the challenge?
Roy Jones Jr.
There are a lot of people who want to see themselves trimmed down or just tone themselves up, and this is a great way to start.
With millions of pounds lost and over $10 million a year in free product, prizes, and vacations, people just like you are looking good, living it up, and feeling like stars.
We've got some amazing incentives. The Hollywood Transformation Vacation is incredible.
Having the red carpet rolled out, treated like kings and queens.
It's all true, and it's happening for so many of us.
The best part is you can get yours for free. Yep, I said it, free.
Can't beat free. I mean, everybody likes free.
It's our Refer 3 and Get Yours for Free program.
Get 3 people to take the challenge with you.
That's right. Refer 3 people to the same or greater kit, and you'll get your challenge product the next month for free.
We're back to the Beach Lifestyle Show with host GJ Reynolds and myself, Neil Haley, the Total Tutor, TotalTutor.net for myself, SimplyG.com for GJ, and really excited always for our next celebrity, a celebrity segment again by the Beach Lifestyle. And I'm interested. This person I could talk to for hours just because of her relationship with a real big-time legend. So, G, go ahead and introduce her.
Well, there's certain interviews that, come along and some you get excited about. I've been really excited about this interview just because of her ties and what's been amazing is what she's been able to do, on her own. And she like you said, her father was a legend. So our first guest is Deanna Brown, and she's a radio, TV personality. She's an actress. She's an entrepreneur. She's a humanitarian, and she's the daughter of the legendary James Brown, the godfather of soul. And please welcome to the show, Deanna. How you doing, Deanna?
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, we're excited to talk to you, and I tell you, GJ did a great job of the background, but just tell us where you're at in your career right now and different things that you did that GJ maybe didn't mention, and then we're going to really get into focusing on your foundation, how you're keeping your father's name going and helping others, and some of the other great things you do to help others.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, Neil. Basically, I've got a background in radio, television, and film. I was actually in New York undercover with Dad, and also I did Blues Brothers 2000 with him. I was in that movie as well. Done countless shows with him, radio, television, and had the opportunity to even travel around the world with my dad. He needed somebody to do his hair, so I got selected, and while he was out touring for some months a few years back, so I enjoyed that. That was probably one of my best life's teaching. I mean, I went to college and all of that, broadcasting school, but to be able to travel around the world and watch Dad handle real show business. He would always tell me that 75% of show business is the actual business of show business. And then when you get to the stage, that's 25%. That's the performance part. But if you don't have your business straight, your paperwork and all that good stuff straight before you get to the performance, you find yourself performing in vain and maybe sometimes for free. So you really have to take care of your business. I think that was his lead in to let me know that's what I was going to do. He recorded both my sisters and my niece, and I kind of teased him one time. I was like, Dad, why haven't you taken me in the studio? Not that I can sing. But he said, well, you know, baby girl, somebody's got let me give you my James Brown voice. Baby girl, somebody got to handle business. Everybody can't sing. Everybody can't be a star. Okay, Daddy, no problem. So right then I knew that wasn't going to happen for me. But it was all good because I learned quite a bit from my father as a business person, as a humanitarian himself, a philanthropist. So, you know, we had great conversations sitting at the breakfast bar, eating cornflakes with both of us having rollers in our hair and, you know, getting some great knowledge, you know what I mean? And I know there were people all over the world that would have loved to, you know, be in that position to be able to sit down and listen to him for hours and hours. And, you know, I was just like any other child, you know. You don't want to sit there and get lectured by your parents and got to listen to all of this stuff over and over again. But I tell you now, I miss those phone calls at 1, 2 in the morning from wherever he was in the world, you know, giving me that wisdom and that knowledge because my father came up very poor, as a lot of people know, and education was important to him. So I think that's what has led me into music education because of his teachings and his drilling of how important education was.
Well, that education is a very important thing to both GJ and I, absolutely, Deanna. And one thing, we definitely, GJ and I will never have curlers in our hair because we're both balding in many ways. But I always have to kind of clear the air. But what a great thing to learn the business. Deanna, I was a professional wrestler for 9 years, so I was on stage in so many aspects, and I'm hopefully going to bring that to my daughter's attention and my son when they decide to perform in some way, because trust me, if you grew up in my family, my wife and I were both performers in certain aspects. We're looking at the same thing, and I think GJ, family is a key component to learn, as we talked about in our first interview, GJ, about surrounding ourselves with the right people and make sure that we learn from others, right, G?
Well, yeah, it's amazing. The theme continues. You know, surrounding yourself with the right people, and Deanna, you touched on a good point. You know. Sometimes it can be tough when the parents say, you do this, do that, or don't do this, don't do that. And then, you know, the other thing is the good advice that parents do give. And fortunately, your father gave great advice, and now you're applying that in both your life and in the lives of others. And you've been given a platform, and you recognize that platform, and you're continuing that platform, and also continuing your father's legacy, and also creating your own legacy, and so that's a great thing. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about, you know, what you're actually doing right now? And one tidbit is I spent some time in Augusta, Georgia, and every time I always heard Augusta, Georgia, you know, I knew that's where your father was from and your family, and so I have fond memories of Augusta as a soldier. So.
Oh, wow, Fort Gordon, huh?
Fort Gordon, Georgia. I spent 2 years.
All right, excellent. Well, right now I am president of the James Brown Family Foundation. You can check us out at James Brown Family FDN. That's Frank Daytime Night. James Brown Family FDN. .org. And basically we did that to continue his charitable holiday giving that he started over 20 years ago, doing Thanksgiving and Christmas, giving out turkeys and toys to those who were less fortunate. And we've been blessed to continue that through the foundation. However, in doing so, we also decided to create a school in his honor, James Brown Academy of Music Pupils. We call it JAMP for short. And we're so excited about that because we're able to put instruments in kids' hands, and that can actually change their lives. You know, I think if a lot of young kids come off the streets and put the guns down, put an instrument in their hand, they'll see a better life. And music has its way of penetrating through the heart and soul, and Dad's music is good music, clean music that everybody can enjoy. Anybody, it makes no difference who you are, what your race is, where you come from. His music is loved all over the world, and the kids are learning his music as well as other great R&B and classic and folk and gospel and blues and some rock too. We're exposing them to all types of genres of music, and they're learning music theory. They're not just learning to play. They're not just coming in to play. They're learning how to read the notes. They're learning how to have stage performance and be disciplined, and they're really learning the whole gamut that I was able to learn from my dad. I even have guitarist Keith Jenkins, that was my dad's guitarist for over 12 years, and the music director, and he's teaching these kids some great stuff. I mean, they're learning songs that, golly, some of their parents wasn't even born at the time that were out. And we got them from pre-K all the way up to age 18. We started this June 2011, and now we're almost approaching 2 years. We have changed some lives, and they've changed my life just being a part of this wonderful opportunity in this program. And this is something that my dad always talked about. He went as far as the 7th grade. He couldn't go as far as the 7th grade because he was poor. My grandparents were poor. He had to go to work. You know, he had to go pick the cotton and go to the railroad and shine shoes to bring money into the house. So when I say education was important, music education had a special place in his heart. Although he didn't go to music school, he was just blessed to be given that gift from God. And look what he did. He blessed so many people around the world. People still sampling his music. People still playing his music. I mean, when we're gone, you know, his music is just going to go on forever. It's timeless. And to be able to see these young kids learn songs like Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud, I Feel Good, and Papa Don't Take No Mess, Don't Be a Dropout, and these types of songs that had messages in them that we don't get to hear anymore in the artists that are making songs today. You know, it's a blessing that they're learning good music, but they're also learning the message is important as well.
And I think that's so key, what you were saying, Deanna, about the message and all these different things. So you have two things I want to talk about. I mean, I could bring you back on my education talk show just to talk about the school and get people from the school to talk to.
You need to do that because we can definitely have a good time talking about that. That's for sure.
Well, as an former educator and owning a tutoring consulting company, I see the importance of education. But the question I wanted to ask you is how you took on the baton. You said this was your father's foundation. When he passed on, did he teach you specific ways to be ready for this opportunity? Because again, this can definitely keep you busy with all the different ventures, especially when you want James Brown's name to live on forever.
Yes. I was traveling with him, and yes, he did teach me. Yes, he did. I mean, right there wherever we were, at the breakfast bar, in the hotel, in the magazine, in the airplane, in the office, in the radio station, wherever we were, he was constantly teaching. It was constantly dropping wisdom and knowledge in my ears. And like I said, whether I wanted to hear it or not, he was doing it. You know, as young kids, sometimes we just don't want to hear the parents lecture, but I was so thankful, and I'm so glad that I did get it. The kids, to continue that music, as you said, the kids just released their first CD. I mean, it could have been the best Christmas present I could have ever given my dad. It's called Jamp Masters Presents Jampism, the New Breed. You can get it on CD Baby, or you can get it at iTunes, and they covered about 11 of my dad's songs, and it's probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. I'm so proud of these kids. You know, so many people ask me so many questions about, you know, being the daughter of James Brown, and all I want to do is talk about these young kids that are able to play his music and to move on with the music, and as well as education. And it's so funny because some of these young kids now, they don't even want to go to these hip-hop concerts because the first question they're like, well, do they have a band? You know, the kids are interested in the musicians and what they're doing. And we had an opportunity to go spend some time with Def Leppard and talk to those guys and learn about their history. You know, like I said, we're just trying to show them that music is a universal language because so many people around the world loved my dad. I mean, I traveled with him where people didn't even know English, but they knew I Feel Good. They knew James Brown, and they felt that music. And that's amazing to me that he could just touch those hearts like that. And that's what's happening with these kids. And I'm just so thankful. So I encourage all of your listeners to go out and check this CD out, CD Baby, the Jamp Masters. You will enjoy it. If you like good music, if you like James Brown, you will truly enjoy this, and hopefully it will touch your heart.
What very interesting, Deanna, when you're talking about, I'm listening to you in so many ways, the motivation, the passion you have, the learning the business in so many ways from your dad, and taking on such a responsibility, a role to continue this. And GJ, I don't know how many people could say this in a lot of ways. I guess I can put another legend I've had on child on the show. I had Bob Marley's daughter on my show. Now I've had James Brown's daughter on my show. So
I love Bob Marley.
Oh yeah,
I love Bob Marley. Yeah.
So I guess the family tradition lives on, and I think G, what you talk about with your foundation, Simply G, is you want your to continue to help others for a long time, even when you pass on, to help others in your foundation, right, G?
Well, absolutely, and I created it just to help other people, and then also help other foundations. And there's a lot of foundations that are struggling to raise money, and obviously, with the way the economies have been, the giving has been a little less than what it once was, and so I thought, as an entrepreneur, I'm going to create my own foundation and be able to give back and help other foundations, because I look at things from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and so raising money through entrepreneurial endeavors, and then providing it through my foundation to be able to give to other foundations, the ones that are doing great change, having a major impact and inspiring the world. And Deanna, while you were talking, I was getting those goosebumps, and I was like, I feel good, na.
Yeah.
So your dad's presence is there, because I got the goosebumps going all over my arms just hearing hearing that passion, hearing that, that intensity that you've got, that you're carrying on, and you're doing great things. And I definitely want to get that music as well. So one more time, could you tell us, tell our audience where they can get that information and find out more about the foundation and how they can also get involved?
Well, the CD again is called Jamp Masters Presents Jampism, the New Breed, and you can go to cdbaby.com or you can go to iTunes and download it. Also, too, check us out at jamesbrownfamilyfdn.org. That's our foundation, and you can see what I'm up to, what the kids are doing, and what we're doing to continue Dad's legacy in a positive way. And so that it can help others, because that's what's important.
Well, absolutely, and I think that one thing, when we look at we want to help others. We are not just doing a foundation just to do a foundation. And Deanna, there's got to be a lot of time and effort that is involved in this foundation, isn't there? Is she saying this is a full-time venture for you and helping promote your siblings' music, right? Those are the two things keeping you very, very busy, isn't it?
Right, and not my siblings' music, but the students. Students at the James Brown Music Academy.
Okay.
Yeah. The students at the James Brown Music Academy. We're getting ready to partner up with Juilliard. They have a branch here in Aiken, South Carolina, and this is the first time they're going to do a summer camp. And we're going to partner up with them and do a summer camp June 9th through the 15th here in Aiken, South Carolina. And that's going to give people, young kids, an opportunity as well to learn from professionals that have learned that teach at Juilliard. So we're trying to do everything we can to expose them to so many different areas so that they can find where their niche is, so that they can go on with their music career and begin to continue and let the music continue playing. Because unfortunately, a lot of schools are cutting their music programs. That's one of the first things that gets cut, arts and music. And so it's important that we continue to advocate how important music is. Everybody is not going to be a sports athlete, so we can put an instrument in their hand and teach them, then that could change their life. My dad said years ago, when they start taking prayer and music out of schools, you're going to see kids killing one another, and unfortunately, this is what we have to look at. But we can do something about it. We just got to step up to the plate. The private sector just got to step up to the plate and kind of pick up where obviously the school systems just can't do it. But that doesn't mean it shouldn't get done, because we got children we got to save.
Well, Deanna, I'm definitely going to have you back on just to talk about the school. I think that's going to be a fantastic one to talk about, and specifically all of what's involved in it, because you have so many different things going on. And GJ, we talk about goals, and you know what time it is, right, G?
It's a 90-day challenge time. Deanna, we ask all of our guests, what do they choose to accomplish over the next 90 days? So what's your 90-day challenge for the Dale Brown family, or I'm saying Dale Brown because Dale Brown's like my mentor. So James Brown Family Foundation.
Basically, the 90-day challenge is to continue trying to change the lives of the young kids that we come in contact with.
Well, that's tremendous, and I think that's the key. And so you continue the process, successful in your specific ventures. So we need the information again, the websites to find more information on yourself and also the foundation.
It's James Brown Family, FDN.org.
All right. Do you have a Twitter, by the way, Deanna?
At James Brown Girl.
All right, we'll have to tweet you out, and it was good talking to you, and look forward to bringing you back very, very soon to talk about the music school, so take care.
Thank you so very much. God bless you.
All right, God bless. All right, you're listening to The Beach Lifestyle.
Thousands of people a day are joining this hottest 90-day weight loss and fitness challenge in North America. The Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge from ViSalus.
The shake is delicious.
The shake mix that tastes like a cake mix.
Folks are dropping weight. Folks are muscling up.
I lost 57 pounds.
30.5 pounds.
I went from a size 10 to a size 6.
I lost 66 pounds on my 90-day challenge.
Everybody's doing it. Even athletes, celebrities, sports and fitness professionals, such as Hulk Hogan.
If you want to get in shape, lose weight, and stay fit, now is the time. Are my Hulkamaniacs up for the challenge?
Roy Jones Jr.
There are a lot of people who want to see themselves trimmed down or just tone themselves up, and this is a great way to start.
With millions of pounds lost and over $10 million a year in free product, prizes, and vacations, people just like you are looking good, living it up, and feeling like stars.
We've got some amazing incentives. The Hollywood Transformation Vacation is incredible.
Having the red carpet rolled out, treated like kings and queens.
It's all true, and it's happening for so many of us.
The best part is you can get yours for free. Yep, I said it, free.
Can't beat free. Everybody likes free.
It's our Refer 3 and Get Yours for Free program.
Get 3 people to take the challenge with you.
That's right. Refer 3 people to the same or greater kit, and you'll get your challenge product the next month for free.
We're back to the Beach Lifestyle Show with host GJ Reynolds and myself, Neil Haley. And I guess it's just happening that the show keeps getting larger, G. I guess we'll have that announcement very, very soon about the 3 new stations we just picked up. And we're looking to expand to another 18 terrestrial stations by the end of the year. And, really exciting. And we have another great guest, celebrity author. So go ahead and introduce him.
Well, our next guest has played professional hockey for almost 20 years, and so he's seen it and done it. He also has a family that's in the NHL. So growing up playing hockey and the whole family playing professional hockey and living a great career, and he's been tagged the Journeyman, and he's also here to talk about his book, Journeyman. And so welcome to the show, Sean Pronger. How you doing, Sean?
I'm good, guys. How are you guys doing?
We're doing fantastic, Sean, and I'm excited to talk to you because, again, you come on as a monthly segment, which is very humbling for me because I just learned so much about what you're doing. I consider myself the journeyman of professional wrestling. Never, except I didn't get the cup of coffee like you did in the pros for a long period of time, but I always believed in a lot of ways that was the sign of it. But it's so great how you're creating this brand for our listeners out there thinking in the business of Sean Pronger. Before you started let's kind of give people interested in understanding how you created this brand, because a lot of times somebody like yourself, they're the ones in the locker room that people don't pay attention to. They ignore them everywhere. The fans are like the only ones that could get the autograph sometimes of. You go from team to team. People might know your face, but say, aren't you that guy? Or isn't your brother? So how did you create a brand? Because it was a very difficult brand to create, but you've done an excellent job of doing it.
Well, thank you. It wasn't my intention at the start. I mean, I think I might have talked about this on one of the other shows, when I was on with you. But it started off real innocently, just writing a blog on my brother's website. And I thought, okay, well, instead of just signing my name, how can I give myself a handle to be remembered? And I thought Journeyman just kind of fit, obviously, with the lifestyle that I used to lead. But I think also people can identify with that. I mean, I think there's a lot of people out there that look at themselves as they're journeymen in life, and no matter what they do for a living or how they live their life, but they're kind of searching for that thing that they show passion for. So that's kind of how I thought of it, that people would be able to identify with like the journeyman character. So that's how it started. And then I think, from the book and the clothing, I think that it's starting to catch on.
Well, and I think that people can relate to this. I've talked to people before that say, why reality television? Why are so many people so enthralled with reality TV? Because they really could believe it could be them. And a lot of times when you are a very humble person who is willing to talk to people, people relate to you more. And GJ, that's the thing about authentic, which we've talked about on the show already today. Being authentic is so key and approachable, regardless of your standing, because that's what people want, is an authentic person who truly is a true person, right, G?
Well, absolutely, and one of the things we learn, especially with social media in today's society, is the interaction and the keeping it real. And we've talked about that earlier on the show, just being real, keeping it real. And we're in a society now that it's very easy to get information, and people just want real information and they want real interactions. And obviously, Sean, you've been able to do that. Both on the ice and off the ice, and now you've turned it into a business, wrote your story, and obviously that interaction. So what are some of the things that are going on right now in your life that our listeners would like to hear? And that's obviously we can go and talk about hockey, but what's happening right now in your career that our audience would be interested in?
Well, I don't know if the audience is interested, but what's interesting to me is the different people that have reached out to me that throughout my hockey life that have reached out now that I have the book out. And it's kind of cool to get back in touch with these people that I haven't been in contact with for sometimes over a decade. And even my family will read the book and be like, I have no idea that you went through that. Almost like I suffered in silence, kind of. But it's been a lot of fun to get the way people kind of take the book. And there's some people that they like the story about the kind of the life of what it's like, or they like the hockey stories, or the stuff in the locker room, that kind of stuff. So it's been fun to just hear the feedback and what certain people take away from it. And I love the fact that it's all different. It's not all just this one story. It's a lot of the different stories that people can A, either relate to, or B, didn't really know much about. And again, I think that's what I think people, like you're saying with reality TV, they can picture themselves kind of going along with me. Because I was a guy, on the bench in the locker room that always felt like he didn't belong or felt like a fantasy camper. And I think people can, the men's league hockey player or the guy that, goes to the mill, or they can see themselves sitting where I'm sitting, and they'll be thinking the same things that I'm thinking. So I think that has been, again, the feedback from the people that read it has been the most fun for me.
And that's where the brand pretty much tells you about. Now the book is kind of, Sean, taking the brand that you created in Journeyman just through a blog, leading to other types of things, to telling your story that people really see that they are the Journeyman. And through the book, you're able to kind of see experiences that you've lived as the Journeyman and how people can really relate. And it's very interesting about what you said about people reaching out.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. Like, just to reconnect with people that I haven't talked to in years. And Facebook's great because they can just kind of type my name in there and find me. And I'm getting notes from people that I haven't. So in some cases, it's been 15 years that I haven't talked to people, and they'll send notes in. So it's been fun to be able to connect with people like that. Either A, I didn't know, or B, I haven't talked to in a long time.
And that's the key thing, GJ, of the social media world. G and I talk about this all the time, is we can reach out to people that we really wouldn't have the opportunity or time to talk to, right, G?
Right. Well, a lot of the guests we've had on, we built relationships on Twitter, which shows that, real people are on Twitter and real celebrities, real athletes are on Twitter, and it's a great way to it's a great gateway to connect to, those that are have a celebrity status or an athletic status, and have that interaction. And going back to the previous, the topic that we're talking about, the interaction and keeping it real, and you're doing that, and you've got your brand, Journeyman, and I've been on your website. I like your brand. I like where you're going, and to go be able to tell your story and then create that story into a business is awesome. And I look at things from an entrepreneurial standpoint, and to see you transition from the ice into business and being successful with that, and also writing a book. And I've written a book myself, and I know there's a lot of heartache that sometimes goes through that, and like, do I share this? Do I not share this? And then being exposed and being vulnerable. So why don't you tell a little bit about, some of that transition that you've made off the ice into your business, into your book, that, some of the struggles you've had to turn it into a very successful business, brand, and book.
Well, yeah, that's a great point with regards to your book about what do you put in there, because you're, when you write something about yourself, you're opening your kimono up to the world, and you're kind of like, this is me. And when Dan and I wrote this, I just didn't want to have to look back and go, I wish I would have put that in there. I'd rather look back and go, I wish I wouldn't have put that in there. So I wanted it to be authentic and real, and not pulled back, like all my deepest insecurities and what I was thinking at the time. I didn't want to not share that with people, because I don't think it would have seemed as real. So I think that was the hardest part, was when we were writing it. There's a chapter in there about the birth of my daughter that was tough. The birth itself was really tough, but I knew it should be included, but I just didn't want to have to go through writing it. And then finally, because I made reference to it a number of times in the different drafts, the editor finally said, "Okay, Sean, you got to write this." So I did it, and I'm glad I did, but it isn't easy to kind of expose yourself. When we first did this, I thought, this is going to be cool if one person buys it. If one person buys their book, this would be awesome. And then once it was out there, I thought, oh my God, what have I done? Because now I'm out there. Like, not only did I write it, but B, this is about my life, and it's an unsettling feeling. But I think that people can appreciate when you kind of throw yourself out there. I think more good comes of it than bad. So I'm glad we did it the way we did, and I can certainly appreciate what you were saying about kind of opening up, because I think that's how you kind of, if you don't open up, people will know you're holding back.
Well, Sean, whenever I open up, and again, it's funny, I'm working on a book, but I'm really having trouble with my co-author. We're just not getting it done because we're too busy people. But when I write my memoir, because I have an author's show now too called Author's Corner, and when I have to open up my whole life from the days of playing college basketball to being a professional wrestler, then turned teacher, now entrepreneur and radio host, I have a very strange experience, especially in pro wrestling, to kind of take those ideals and promoting and lead it to business. So a lot of times we have no idea where we're going to go, Sean. We look at things and say, okay, well, this is what we are. I'm a basketball player, or I'm a hockey player, or I'm a professional wrestler. Never thinking, well, I'm going to be a businessman. I'm going to be selling books out of the back of my car, and also selling them all over the place, and doing tons of radio interviews, and just talking and opening up about ourselves. So I think it's the weirdest thing is you just never know where you're going to be, right? It's a surprise every day, isn't it?
Totally, and that's what makes it fun, I think. Like if you know what your path is going to be, from now until the time you're 70, it's like, oh boy, I like not knowing. It's fun. So I think if you kind of throw yourself out there, I think nothing but good things can happen. And even if a few bad things happen, well, you learn from it, and you move on. But I'm a big fan of just throwing it out there, trying stuff. If it doesn't work, okay, learn, and then go to the next thing.
And also not be afraid to go ahead and approach somebody you might have never approached. Because now I'm sure you're getting attention from players that might have not even paid you attention because they weren't on your team. Or sportscasters that would never interview Sean Pronger. Right, Sean? Am I correct about that? And
No, you couldn't be more right. I mean, I've done more radio interviews in the last 3 months than I did in my entire 11 years of professional hockey combined. You know, so it's been very ironic that, you know, writing about hockey has got me more press than actually playing hockey. So it's funny. And then to your point about not being afraid. That is probably the biggest. Fear is probably the biggest hindrance to guys, especially transitioning out of whatever they're doing. Like if they're a professional, like you say, if they're a basketball player or hockey player, whatever it is, fear of the unknown will lead them to just keep doing what they're doing. So if they're done playing hockey, well, then they're going to stay in hockey, and they may have a passion for it, but maybe they might want to try something else, but they're too afraid. So it's almost like you gotta put fear aside and try it anyway and see where it takes you.
Well, a great friend of mine who's on the line right now talks about getting out of our comfort zone. And he talks about that a lot in his book and different things, right, GJ, to really look at specifically reaching. Don't you agree with me on that? Isn't that one of the major things you talked about, getting out of your comfort zone and really going after serious goals that maybe you'd be afraid to go after, right, G?
Right. Well, Sean talks about that fear and overcoming that fear. And obviously that fear of the unknown and then also getting out of that comfort zone, you know, sometimes there's that fear attached to that. And the more we remove that fear or the illusion of fear and move out of the comfort zone, we're able to move forward. And, you know, I was working out this morning and I remember 500 days ago where I was unable to even hardly curl more than just a bar, just that fear, like, you know, how am I ever going to be able to lift more than that? And then being able to push through that. And one of the ways to do that also is just aligning yourself with the right people and surrounding yourself, you know, people that care about you to help you work through that process when there is some fear attached to it. It's a great way to move forward. And obviously, Sean, you've been able to do that, and you've you've written an awesome book. And I know it's a book that anyone who reads it's going to enjoy, whether you're a hockey fan. I just know just some of the biography side of things, and just from the sports side of things, our listeners going to love the book. So why don't you tell us where we can also find that book and also purchase some of your brand and your clothing line.
Yeah. So for people that are, I know you have listeners kind of all over the world. For people that are in Canada, they can go into Chapters Indigo bookstores. The hard copy is available there. Or if you want to order a hard copy outside of the U.S. or outside of Canada, Amazon.ca is where you can order a hard copy, or Amazon.com if you want to order an ebook. Those are the only places right now in the U.S. They're not available in a bookstore yet, but we're working on that. And then from our clothing brand, Journeyman, JRNYMN, wear.com. So journeymanwear.com, and that's where you can get our clothing line there. So yeah, it's things have been picking up since the book release, so it's been a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Well, one thing we talk about on the show that's different than the other show is we talk about our 90-day challenge, Sean, and as GJ's talking about his 90-day challenge to lose in basketball against me in March. March.
Whoa,
So no, but he's talking about that. But Sean, what's your 90-day challenge? And because GJ is just learning how to curl a bar, but I don't think he's going to be able to lift 280 some odd pounds of me on the basketball court, or his buddy who's probably sitting next to him. Jerome Davis, 9-time national champion professional athlete that thinks he could get on the court with me. The guys weigh probably 160 pounds soaking wet, 180 pounds soaking wet, and they're going to play somebody who's a street baller from the hard streets of Pittsburgh. So, Sean, go ahead and tell us what your 90-day challenge is.
Well, I think a couple things. My 90-day challenge is to watch you guys duke it out on the basketball court, I think would be my first one. And then my second one, I've just actually signed up for a 25K run, a cross-country run, or it's more of I guess a cross-country run. So I'm not much of a runner, but I've decided I need to have something on the calendar, otherwise I just won't do stuff. So I'm doing that in May, which I don't know if that's 90 days or a little bit further out, but that's my short term, I guess, right? My 3-month goal is to be able to do 15 miles in the hills.
Well, Sean, we definitely want to have you back on the show, and especially this show, but also my network, because you have your monthly segment. But I want definitely to get your co-author on the show at one point in time, and also I want to start getting some of the of your NHL former players or certain things that have foundations, so we can kind of help promote them as well. So it's a great relationship we've created on Facebook. I see you have a Twitter, Sean, and we're going to have to give you a little bit of a Twitter fraternal correction, GJ and I, and that is that basically whenever somebody tweets you out, you tweet back. It's a little different thing, but we'll talk to you about that. Did you know that, Sean? I don't know if you manage your own Twitter or not.
I do manage it. I search my name probably too much, and so if people reach out to me, I try to get back to them. Should I do that or should I not?
Yeah. Oh, you should do that. Here's the thing.
No, I've been pretty good the last 2 months. Because I had a one Twitter handle, but then maybe I'm not. Did you get yours? What's it called? Validated yet? How do you do that?
No, okay. Well, basically, you contact Twitter, and because you're a celebrity, and you should have one that's validated, so that people that might create a Sean Pronger. We'll talk off air, so stay on the line after we get off the interview. But again, where can we find more information on Sean Pronger? Purchase his book and follow his Twitter feed and Facebook and all that. Tell us where we can go.
Yeah, so Twitter is at Sean Pronger, SeanPronger. Facebook the same as Sean Pronger. Website, Journeyman, JRNYMN, basically Journeyman with no vowels, and then it's journeymanwear.com. And I'd be very interested to hear about it. Any social media tips would be very welcome.
Well, GJ and I are the kings of social media. We proclaim ourselves that, right, G?
I let you claim that. I just go right along. I'll just ride the wave.
Well, because Sean, again, GJ has a 77 clout. I have a 73 clout. And if we can get up to the 80s, we'll be a celebrity status, and that's a goal of ours. And we're just continue to connect with people on Twitter. And what we've seen is when we interact with them, the celebrities are more likely to interact back with us, and it's a lot of fun. So stay offline after we finish up the show. But again, we can find information on GJ at simplyg.com. Great show, Sean. I just always, it seems like when you and I talk, it's like having a beer or a cup of coffee. We just really connect, and it's a lot of fun talking to you. So I appreciate you calling, Sean, and we'll stay in touch, okay?
All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate you having me on.
All right, thanks for listening to the Beach Lifestyle Show. GJ, have a great week. We'll talk next week, man, all right?
All right, thanks a lot. Thanks, guys.
All right, take